Hey, YouTube people. Um, so I have decided to come back after a little hiatus. Um, and wanted the first video back. Um, Mostly it'd be about protection today. Uh, because I don't know about all y'all, but this past month has just kind of thrown some um, weird shit around. I felt weird all month. I don't know why, but it's put me on alert. Don't know why, but I felt more alert. Um, Not really on edge, but you know, I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all have been kind of feeling the same vibes. Um, but when I start feeling those kinds of things, and I feel them for days, and they don't seem to really dissipate or go away, that's when I start setting up my boundaries, my barriers, and just getting ready for whatever's coming, because something obviously is coming. Either to me personally, could be coming from someone else. There's a few out there that I'm thinking might be doing some work. But hopefully I've counteracted that. But yeah, protection. I This is the only time I'm probably going to do any kind of commentary on this. But all the witches and pagans that are doing the whole hex the president until he resigns stuff, that's cool. Do what you want to do. That's your thing. But people do need to realize that them people in office, they may not even know how to light a candle or say what needs to be said to start. They may not know all the nuts and bolts, but they have some powerful people. And trust me, they're working hard. Because I've had a feeling that might be part of this weird shit I've been feeling. Because there's been a lot of crazy shit happening the past few weeks in regards to that. But then also, I've had to look into my personal near recent histories and excuse me, there's some things there too that I have to, work through. But always, always, always be aware of, be on guard and have some form of protection in place at all times. Because if you don't, it only takes once, and you can get some real bad shit that will take years to get off you. May never even get it off, depending on how bad it is, and you're not ready for it. So always, always, always be on alert. That's my little rant for today, I guess. But also, I don't even know if you can hear me on this video. I'll find out here in a minute. Um, things to look out for on my channel. Still gonna be mostly on herbs and learning different herbs, mostly the medicinal properties. Using the Kampo tradition because that's a tradition I practice. It's a Japanese system of Chinese medicine, and the shit's powerful. It works. Trust me on that. It does, and I'll be doing videos on that and all that, and then some, and then some. Now I know there's gonna be probably a good group of people out there that aren't going to understand my channel or my practices, and that's okay. But I do consider what I do and what I'm going to be putting on my channel to be in the realm of hoodoo and folk magic. Now, American, hoodoo is an American thing. And by American thing, I mean it was conglomerated here in the States and partially in Central and South America. It was made here, and it was formed by slaves, by African slaves. And I do incorporate that, but at the same time, hoodoo encompasses 3 groups. Okay. Africa, Europe, mainly Germanic and Balkan origins, and Native American. Okay. Those are the 3 main ingredients, if you will. Or the 3, I don't want to say components, lack of a better word, of hoodoo. That's the basic definition, right? Okay, well, in hoodoo, we work with spirits. You work with your ancestors, okay? Well, not everybody that's in hoodoo that works with hoodoo comes from those 3 regions. It's possible those people probably aren't real workers. Some of them might be, though. Me personally, I have ancestry from, Germany, Native American, Choctaw, and Chickasaw. Real swamp people. Some Japanese in there, and that's what I'm getting at. Most of the spirits and the deities I work with have been with me for a long time, and they come from my cultural backgrounds and things that I have been involved with, things that have come out to me. I haven't had any of the Loa spirits come out to me yet, and talk to me. I haven't had any of them. So I work with the spirits that I work with because they've come to me, and most of them come from the folk traditions of Japan. what's considered, basically it's like the hoodoo of Japan, which I know it's a shitty way to word it, but I can't think of another better way to explain it. It's called Mikyo. It's the folk magic of Japan. That's where most of my workings come from. Now I have, because I've lived, I grew up here in South Texas my whole life. I've been around the traditions here. Um, my next door neighbor, as a child, was a worker. I knew she was. She was an old Southern style woman. And I know she did some stuff. And she was probably the first person who I saw and experienced things with. Hold on, my cigarette went out. Because, my background, excuse me, I've always known I was a magical person. I always did things. As a kid, you couldn't stop me in the springtime. I was always outside pulling up all of the wild onions and all the dandelion leaves in our yard. And, playing, pretending that it's, harvest time and it's stuff you have to eat. Or I was making, potions, what I was calling potions, because I was a child, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. All of this stuff. And snakes, oh. I'll get to that in another video, familiars. But when I was little, I would always, you couldn't keep them from me. I would always find one when I'd go outside. It'd be these little, they're called rough earth snakes, or like garter snakes. I would always find them, and I would always pick them up, and they would never strike at me. They would never be defensive. And they were super tiny. They fit in my hand. And they're probably the babies too. But I'd always find them. And that's one familiar that I've always had. And snakes play a big part in Japanese folk magic. They really do. And within, the traditional hoodoo practices too. But that's kind of my style, my what I do. You can like it, you cannot like it. You can say it's not real hoodoo, it's not this, it's not that. I'm not saying it's real hoodoo, but here in America, the only folk magic and the only, conjuring people are those root workers and hoodoo. But I'm not seeing anybody showing the Asian side of folk magics and folk tradition and things like that do exist. They're here. They came here, A lot of people, Africa was the hugest part of the slave trade, but there was also Asians in that slave trade. They came a little later, but they brought their stuff with them too. And it's here. You just don't hear about it. And hopefully I can bring some of it to light and kind of go with y'all and relay some information to you guys so you know that it's out there and it's not, that it's very similar, if not almost identical, just save for the deities and the spirits you work with. But you can get, spirits, any spirits can come to you. People can come to you and want to work with you. And it's a tricky situation. But, something I might talk about and I might make a video about. Let me know if you want to find out more about that kind of stuff. But to recap, because I'm almost at 20 minutes, my channel is mostly going to be on herbs, medicinal properties of herbs, using herbs. Basically, if you don't know how to use herbs, I'm sorry, but you can't do work. You can't do anything, because those are the basis of anything. Mostly what I do is candle work. That's most of what candle work, divinations. That's mostly what I do. And yeah, you need a candle, but you need the associative herbs. Those things that associate and help the working. You have to have those there. The candle is just a base. A medium, if you will. It's not the actual thing. The actual thing is in the herbs and what you do with them and how you formulate them and put them into the medium and how they work through that medium. You got to know how to read that shit too. So it's kind of how my channel is going to be. I'm kind of just going to be putting videos here and there, commentaries, book review type things, probably. But I was called away from this kind of stuff for a while, because I was, told I needed to work more on me and get away from all this, outside stuff and go in. I did that, and now I'm starting to feel changes around me. I've had big changes around me, and now it's time to I've been told it's time to go back to work. So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully I can do it. All we can do is do what we can do and see what happens. And it's, not up to us. Spirits, they work through us. And with us. Sometimes with us. Mostly through us. And when you get those calls, you better answer them. I guess like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk with you guys later.